Good morning, family. Welcome to part 9 of our From Employee to Purpose series. All right, so last week I shared with you guys that um, I had reached a point where, um, I made the decision to live for God. So the next thing to do was to build an intimate relationship with Him. Excuse me, with Him, right? And so it was so in order to do that I needed to create a routine that placed him at the beginning of my day so I can sow in my relationship with him first. All right. So last week I was kind of all over the place with the you know explaining the whole routine thing and how to break that down. I had to sit down, write it out, fully break that down so I can give it to you. And from there, I'm going to share with you what to do in that time that you are spending with God and like what that looks like. All right. So, so what I did was um, I asked God to give me a schedule to meet with Him. All right. So, so then I created a routine around that schedule. And so, how to create a routine and a schedule around that routine. All right. So, reverse engineer. All right. Start start with the end. Work yourself back. All right. So just say, for instance, you're writing a plan for your life. Start with the destination, and work your way back to where you are. So you do the same thing with the routine. So number one, start with what time you have to be at school or work. Let's say it's 9:30. All right. So that's where we're gonna start at, and we're gonna work our self backwards. So second thing, factor in traffic. How long is the commute to school or work? And don't worry, I'm gonna put all this in the description before. I mean, in the description below, so you can go over this yourself. You can get a visual and get an idea, and you know, pretty much write out a routine or create a routine that's best for you. Number three, leave your home an extra 15 minutes early to make sure you arrive 10 to 15 minutes early. All right. Number four, now write down all you have to do before leaving home to begin your commute. Number five, right next to right next to each of those to-dos how long it takes for you to do them. So basically, you just laying the foundation. It's kind of like a math problem. Like you have the problem, and then teachers used to always say, "Show your work." So you sketching out everything. So now, once you write everything out, you see it before you. Now you can start putting them in place. All right. So this is just basically what you're doing. Preparing um, your routine. All right. So number six, put your to dos in order from when you wake up to when you must walk out the door. I don't expect you to catch all of this. I'm just breezing through this. Again, it'll be in the description below so you can see it, um, get a visual on it. Number seven, give your to dos a schedule, starting with the time you must leave. Work backwards from the bottom of your to do list to the top, which is when you wake up. I'll give you an example. So, so you have to drop the little ones off at school. That's from 8:30 to 8:50. Then you have to so we working backwards, right? So this is before you have to walk out the door. So you drop the little ones off. You leave home at 8:30. And then so but before you leave the house, obviously you have to get dressed for work. So that's 8 to 8:25. All right. Then you make you breakfast, eat 7:30 to 8. So now flip it back around. So you make you breakfast and you have to eat right 7:30 to 8. Give you that 30-minute window. Then from 8 to 8:25, you get dressed for work. and then you're ready to walk out the door by 8:30 to drop the little ones off, and that could take maybe like 20 minutes, and then from 8:50 to 9:20, 9:25, you're on your commute to work. All right, I hope you're following this. Number 8, if God tells you to be in His presence at 4, the time you have between 4 a.m. and your to dos is the time you spend with Him. All right, I'm gonna give you an example of that scheduled routine. You wake up at 3:45. Remember, you have to. He told you to be before Him by 4 a.m. a.m. You wake up 3:45. Use the restroom, brush your teeth, wash your face. All right. So that usually take maybe about 15 minutes. So you you have 15 minutes to do this. Now you before Him at 4 o'clock. So from so from 4 to 4:20, you're praying, you thanking Him, then listening. I'll break that down in a minute. From 4:25 to 5, you're reading your Bible, you meditate on what you read, and you pray, asking Him to give you clarity and revelation. What does that mean for you? All right, so from 5 to 6, do as He instructs. And this part of the my schedule, I like to call it create. All right, so create. So right now, um, I'm working on finishing my second book. All right, and then I'm also I'm in the middle of a sermon series that I do on Saturday. So throughout the week, I'm preparing for Saturday. All right, so that's my time of creating. Or if it's something that I'm preparing business wise, or something that I'm working on, dealing with my purpose, I'm doing it within that 5 to 6 o'clock time. All right, pray for you from 6 to 6:30. Pray for you, your family, others, and the world. And from 6:30 to 7:30, you're serving your family. You're earning wife clothes, um, kids clothes, breakfast, fold clothes, wash and put dishes away, etc. Whatever that looks like for you. You may be single, but whatever that is for you within that time. Like I said, like your route, you know the things that you have to do before you walk out the door. The whole idea is creating a routine and scheduling that routine, so you can be more organized and structured for your day, prepare for the day, and this help you conquer your day. Um, from 7:30 to 8, you make you breakfast. You eat. From 8 to 8:25, you getting dressed for work. From 8:30 to 8:50, you dropping the little ones off at school. 8:50 to 9:20, you commute to work. Not so you at work 10 minutes early. All right, so you clock in by 9:30. All right, so obviously this is the very first schedule that I had, but a lot of things has changed. So there's going to be times where you have to change your schedule, change your routine, move things around, whatever, because life changed. Everything changed at some point. So we have to make the necessary adjustments to make sure that we're creating and have a routine that best serves us so we can conquer our day. All right. So what are you doing in the time you're spending with God? All right. So let's go back to I'm sorry, hold on. Let's go back to so so when I wake up, obviously, like I said, I brush my teeth, wash my face. I'm before Him. All right. So I'm praying, thanking Him for another day. Um, you know, I start there and then I listen. So to split that up, I ask Him to make His thoughts my thoughts. So whatever I'm thinking is Him speaking to me. All right. So it's important for us to listen. For years, I did all the talking. All right, but how can He tell us what it is that He need us to do? How can we get instructions for the day if we don't ever listen? How do we know what we need to change about ourselves if we don't listen? How can we get to know Him even more if we don't listen? It's a it's a communication back and forth. So thanking him for another day, and listen. Um, ask him to make his thoughts your thoughts. It's it's not deep. It's not hard. Just ask him to do that, and just relax and just listen. I like to do mines early in the morning where it's dark, quiet, it's peaceful, still, everyone's still asleep, no distractions. I mean, like, it's nothing. And that helps me hear him clearly. And the same might be for you. When it's dark, peaceful, no distractions, nothing, no interruptions, it's easier to hear him speak. So isolate yourself. Whatever that time is, if you work overnight, just start your day off in his presence, because he gives us things. He speaks to us that helps prepare us for the day. So when the day come at us, it's easier to maneuver through. Um, if something come our way that kind of knock off our game, and we snap or whatever it is, because we've been spending time with him in the morning. He has started to renew our mind and give us a different perspective. Then we have access to that perspective, and we can grab hold to that perspective, activate that perspective, and then get back in the game. But if we don't start our day off in his presence, where he prepares us for the day, then whatever comes our way, because he weather our storms, we don't know what's to come. And considering he know what's to come, he prepares us for what's to come. But if we don't start our day off in his presence, getting to know him and spending time with him, then most likely we will be overtaken by whatever come our way, because we are not prepared. All right, um, so that's pretty much what that time, that's what that looks like. And and so when you so from there, ask him what he needs you to do. All right, so it's basically what he instructs. Like I say, I call this part of my morning creating. All right, so um, and a good thing about it, although you're not praying and reading your Bible, you're still in his presence, because he's telling you what to do. So he's walking you throughout whatever it is he needs you to do, giving you ideas, telling you what to write, telling you what to do. So just invite him in and just ask him to lead you. And that's the time that you spend in his presence for the first hour or two of your day. And this is exactly what I did. This was what my routine was in getting to know him, building a relationship with him, and going from employee to purpose. This is exactly how I begun the process. And over time of doing this, within like a year or so or whatever, like he disclosed to me my purpose. All right, but it starts with relationships. So start working on your relationship with him, and he'll show you the way. It took me that long, because being disobedient, not doing what I'm supposed to do, doing what I'm comfortable with or what I feel like doing, and order my footsteps, but only if that's convenient for me. And so it took me that long. For you, it could be sooner. I These are the process. This is the process and the steps that I took, um, to learning what my calling and my purpose was. That's why this is called From Employee to Purpose. And the final thing, this is actually part two, key number two, step number two, in the practical steps of how to learn your calling and your purpose. We're going to get to that, but I'm breaking this down like to the finest print, so you'll see what that looks like. And if you start implementing this, like, God will show you the way, and give you what best works for you, and with your routine and schedule. And man, I'm telling you, he have a future waiting for you. Let's start that relationship process, and just know you were created with a purpose, and it's time for you to start living your purpose. From employee to purpose. Let's start changing lives, and let's start um, getting towards the abundant life that he came to give. All right, I love you guys. Stay blessed. Peace.